Welcome back, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Final Fantasy VII. It's been a while. It's been a vacation's amount of time since we were back here, but thankfully Cloud and his party were just resting in Fort Condor, so we're going to go ahead and start up where we left off in Fort Condor. Now we know the circumstances of what's going on here, and now we can decide whether or not we want to help out. So let's go ahead and talk to the big guy up here, the guy who's watching out for Shinra forces. And you could actually get that little screenshot if you wanted of the Condor hovering over the fort. Thanks for accepting. Let me explain our strategy. The enemy will climb the mountain looking for the reactor. We will leave a trap for them and hire soldiers to protect the area. Like soldiers or soldiers? Well, that's all, but this village doesn't have any money. Even if we wanted to fight, our hands are tied because we're broke. If we hire one soldier, we would need 400 gil. So if we hire 20 soldiers, we must have 8,000 gil. Basically saying, this is your responsibility. So if you folks have the time, we would like you to use your own money to hire these soldiers. Buy the trap, set it up, and command the troops. Yeah, you do this out of your own pocket, and I know a lot of people were frustrated by that, but this is kind of a bonus thing. If you're pressed for time, we'd just like the money, you can donate. If you can give us the money, we can then hire soldiers with the funds and block Shinra's attack. We know that what we're asking is selfish. Yes, very selfish. We have sent our wives and children to another village. We are resigned to our fate. Let's get back to square one. If the enemy penetrates our shed, you'll have to fight them immediately. Which isn't that hard, guys. Well, just because you lost once, it's not the end of the world, but if you lose repeatedly, it could be dangerous. Now then, is there anything you wish to ask? I'm not going to ask anything, but basically, this is kind of a, hey, this one climbing up here looks like they'd be just right. Please, any help is appreciated. Okay, so preparation's ready. You can donate gil. It doesn't really do anything. This is kind of a bonus quest along the way. You have 10 enemies. There appear to be many beasts, so you may want to deploy more attackers. They kind of give you a little bit of a hint. And welcome, at least give this a minute. But yeah, you can donate gil, but you don't necessarily have to do this. And welcome, everybody, to Final Fantasy VII, the RTS. That's basically what this is. You are hiring attackers out of your own money, and then using them to fight this battle. And I remember when I first played this game, I thought this was dumb. This is one of the many... You guys will probably hear my viewpoint on some of the other mini games that came up in this game to try and, fill out the time. I was not pleased with this one. There were a few that I liked, like the G-Force bike. I like that, or the G-bike. But this one in particular, I didn't until much later when I could appreciate it as an adult. In my 20s, I really began to appreciate this because it's like, oh, well, Final Fantasy's trying something new. They're stepping into the RTS genre a little bit. And yeah, so the goal here is your enemies can't reach the shed. If they reach the shed, you have to fight them. And if you have to do that consistently, it's not going to be a good thing. But here's the thing too. If you know what you're doing, if you've done I would even say, like, if you've played the most basic of RTS maps, you know what you're doing and you are secure in this. The other thing that could kill you is lack of gil. But here's the thing. Once you get out of Midgar and start level grinding out there, you'll start to notice the same Final Fantasy formula that you've seen in previous games. You will have the money. Money will not be an issue for you. As you go along, especially if you grind as consistently as, say, like me, or some of the... I've seen a couple of other YouTubers grind as consistently as me, so you'll be set, and this won't be as much of a money sink to you. If you have just been cruising through the plot, like a lot of people do on their first try, Brenton, you probably couldn't afford this. Or you could afford this battle, but you will come back here, and you probably won't be able to afford that one. Because this is just getting you used to the whole concept. You will come back later and have to do kind of an advanced course on it. So keep that in mind when you go through here. And once again, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good week so far. And thank you all to the well-wishers that reached out to me during my vacation, and I really did appreciate all of the things you guys said to me, and I took it all to heart. And even though there probably are going to be some more changes on the way, I've said that in the last few videos that you've seen. It is probably going to be accurate because now I actually do need to take better care of myself while doing this. Because, I mean, I love you guys, but the problem is trying to get these videos out, it's very easy for me to not take care of myself, to put you guys before myself, and that's, as I've learned now, not the most healthy thing to do. So thank you guys so much for your support. I hope you guys can continue to support me as I make a few changes to the schedule. I'm not going to worry people too much. It's not going to be a huge thing. I think you guys will be able to get the consistent amount of videos that you guys want in a month. And really, that's kind of how I planned out this new schedule, is on a month-by-month basis. I really do think that's going to work. So before you say no to it or anything like that, just see how the schedule. Let's see how the schedule is going to work, and then if I can make a little bit more consistency work, then I'll start transitioning. And I don't know, I might, like, a few people have actually suggested maybe you want to make a video on it and explain, like, what the new changes are gonna be. And I might. I'm not completely committed to that just yet, but I might make that video just so you guys know what's coming in the next few months and all that. It really is just allowing me time not only to get videos done, but also to work on podcasts and all of the other projects that I have outside of YouTube, to be able to get revenue from them if I possibly can. Because here's the thing, like, you guys have been bringing it up to me ever since my vacation started, when people were actively talking about the adpocalypse and we were starting to see YouTubers really kind of dropping off. That's going to be a thing here. Is like, you know, it's something that I have to realize is the adpocalypse. I mean, I wasn't really making a whole lot of revenue on YouTube anyway, but with the adpocalypse in place, it's probably not going to work unless I have outside sources being able to fund podcasts and all that. A few people have actually asked if you were, or if I was going to move to another outlet. In particular, like, the podcast would move to another outlet because YouTube is not worth it to me. For now, no, it's not, but it's not like I'm not considering the idea. I am shopping the podcast around. Let's put that around, let's put that into perspective. But I was already shopping the podcast around, so take that for what you will. I have actually considered whether or not to do the live streams on YouTube anymore. They're staying for the moment, but if I continue to have more, because I've actually had a few Geek News episodes now be considered not advertiser friendly, and I'm not sure why, aside from maybe we talked bad about YouTube. You know, the videos that came up, we were talking about YouTube controversies. So if YouTube does not appreciate the things that we have to say, then you know what, we could take our opinions and go somewhere else. It's one of those things where I kind of approach this on the wavelength that I think any of the bigger YouTubers would if they had to, which is, if you don't appreciate what I'm making, I can take my shit somewhere else. Pardon my French, but that's the way it's going. And people have been actually asking, has the adpocalypse affected your channel? Yes, I have had a few videos be considered not advertiser friendly. Is it affecting me financially? Not just yet, but here's the thing. If I continued to stay on YouTube and got into the, you know, five-digit numbers or anything like that, this would affect me. And the other problem is I'm not willing to change for YouTube. I think technically my content is probably one of the better ones out there when it comes to advertisers. But if they don't like it, I'm not necessarily going to up and change it just because this advertiser doesn't like what I said in criticism to them. You know, if I'm criticizing Coca-Cola because I don't like the taste of new Coke, well, I'll take my video somewhere else where Coke can't necessarily object to it. But thankfully, a lot of the bigger businesses out there actually can take criticism. Some can't, but some can. Whew, that was good. But the Shinra's troops will be back. Be sure and scout the area well. We don't know when they'll attack again. Basically saying, come back. Come back, we'll have another thing for you. We have 12 allies left, and here's the other part too. You will get your gil back, as long as they survive. Oh yeah, I found this just now on the battlefield. Maybe it'll come in handy for you guys. Received a magic comb, and this magic comb is awesome. I think it's probably the first weapon we have. Yeah, that has double growth. So, I can finally talk about this now. So, while you're leveling in the game, you can level the materia. In fact, you need to level the materia, and the way that you do it, and a lot of people have been confused by that, I know, because I've talked to a lot of those people, you have to look at your weapons and items and look at the growth on the weapon in particular. And if it's and you'll only get 3 settings. You get normal. Well, actually, no, you get 4 because there's none. You actually on the end weapons of the game, you can get none. There's no growth on it. But you can get normal growth, double growth, and triple growth. And there's only a few weapons in the game that give triple growth. I don't even think there's a bracer that does. So you have to keep that in mind because when you're leveling, you're also leveling your materia. And later on, we'll actually get some materia that have horrendous AP requirements. So you want to be able to have the double and triple growth stuff. And when you grind, you actually need to downgrade your weapons down to a double growth just so that you can keep your materia going. But now that we're finished at Fort Condor, it's time for us to move on with the plot. And we're going to head to Junon Harbor. Which, funniest thing, you do get the hint at Fort Condor that that's where you need to go. So you can take the hint and you can go, or you can help them out and then you can head out. But we're gonna head to Junon Harbor to follow Sephiroth as well as Shinra. Because remember, we know that the Turks are also chasing Sephiroth. And actually, Junon is, if you could see that little pixel right there, it looks like a cannon, that is Junon Harbor. This is probably one of the more iconic sites of Final Fantasy VII, mainly because of the ginormous cannon sticking out of Junon Harbor. So, like a lot of fan art and Final Fantasy VII art, including minus Advent Children, because Advent Children went to Midgar, but I have a feeling if they could have made it work, they would have made it work to go to Junon. But the main reason they didn't was because by that point, there are going to be some significant changes to Junon and to Midgar. So, here we go. So there you go. You can actually see the ginormous Junon cannon sticking out of the harbor. But first, we get to go to Junon Town. What happened to this town? So run down. Well, it's because it's not part of the harbor. Well, now this is rare. We almost never have anyone other than the Shinra people visit this town. Yeah, I have a feeling you don't. Now, you can technically visit the shops. I'm saying you technically can. There isn't a whole lot to get here. But thankfully, Junon Harbor does have a couple of other item shops, so if you're in desperate need of tents or things like that, you just got to get up to the harbor itself. And then you'll be fine. So if you see a weapon you want, you better buy it. And unfortunately, no. Oh, and actually, you can get tents down here. I'm trying to think of the stuff you can't. Well, there is no materia shop down here. And so the materia shop is up in Junon Harbor. And I think there are better weapons up in Junon Harbor, too. At least stuff that will get you through. As you can see, the soldiers guarding basically means you can't go up there. The only place that we really can go is down to the beach area, but first I'm gonna head up to this house and see if there's anything there I can get. Oh, and by the way, thanks so much for the feedback that I've been getting on the new audio setup. I've been really worried about it, because now we have to do a whole new audio setup for Drak and Shadow, which means I had to change things up for mine, and I've been worried about whether or not you guys like it. Ever since Shinra built that city up above during the war, There's been no fish in the water. It got so polluted. So yeah, Shinra bad. Keep remembering that. Oh, and here's the beach. Hey, Mr. Dolphin! It's Flipper. No, it's Echo. We're talking video games. My name is Priscilla. Now you say it. Who are you guys? Are you members of the Shinra Inc.? I'm not gonna say incorporated when it says it. We don't get along well with the Shinra. That's how it is. I don't believe you. Get out of here. Great. What's that? That's a big fish. Be careful, Mr. Dolphin! No. Oh, little girl. Hey, hold on, we're coming! So you have to do this boss fight to save the girl, because the girl, I'm sorry, was an idiot, and walking straight into the water thinking, oh yeah, I can just walk in water. Yeah, it gets deeper. All that to save a dolphin. Well, I hope that was worth it for you. So let's go ahead and take care of this boss. Yeah, thanks again for the feedback on the audio stuff. Keep it coming. If you still have issues with it, please let me know so that I can get them fixed. Because yeah, now that Drak and Shadow's running off of a new setup, my stuff has to run on a unique setup as well, and that might get a little frustrating for people. I understand that. Wholeheartedly. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the videos that have gone up so far. I mean, we've had 2 Tales of Drak. I'm not sure if we're going to get a third, because I'm doing the dailies for Claxy, and it's not really looking good. It's taking a little bit more time than I wanted. But we've also been able to get up a brand new Kingdom Hearts, so you guys can enjoy that, as well as 2 new Dungeons & Drakfus. And later on today, and also you got the Drak tries for Sonic Mania, and just as a quick reminder, there is a part 2 to Sonic Mania that is on Drak and Shadow. This is an idea that the Shadow Blazer wanted to do for Sonic Mania, so we have part 1 on my channel and part 2 on Drak and Shadow. It seems only appropriate since the first ever video series that we ever did was Sonic. Like, we played all the Sonic games up until Sonic 06, and then at that point we started swapping out newer other games for it. So you guys can check that out, and then later on this week there also will be a Drak Tries of Uncharted Lost Legacy. I've been excited for this ever since E3, and I'm hoping that it lives up to the Uncharted legacy, for lack of a better term. And then also later today, you can look forward to more we get back into Diablo 2. We're back into regular schedule, people. All right, so now that the boss is taken care of, and Cloud leveled. Get used to that. Cloud will level a lot. This is bad. You don't think she's dead, do you? Priscilla! Nope, she's not breathing. Confirmed. Yep, we knew that. Hey, that's it. Young man, CPR, now! Mouth to mouth? You know I can't. Could you? But she's just a girl. Yeah, she needs to breathe too, Cloud. Cloud, hurry! What? You don't know how? Come on over here, I'll show you. I guess I gotta do it. Yeah, a child's life hangs in the balance. Just take a deep breath, hold it in, then breathe it into her. Hurry up and do it! Okay, I'll admit, this is another one of those mini games that I thought was dumb when I played it the first time. It's still dumb now. Because I really don't see a way for you to lose. I think I've even tried. I've like sat there for like a good half hour, and no, it just waits for you to do it. So, I mean, I would much rather just have had a scene where he goes, you know, does CPR, and then no, we didn't need this level of interactivity for CPR. Like, we didn't need CPR action. I think I just found my episode title: Epic CPR action. What is wrong with me? So, yeah, this is one of those mini games I kind of wish wasn't in Final Fantasy VII. I like interactive mini games that have been added later into the Final Fantasy series. This is not one of them. Like I said, I like the G-Bike. We'll come across a few others later that I liked as well, but, you know, like Fort Condor, I like that later on in my life. I would gladly do Fort Condor over this. This is annoying to me. Because you just have to sit here. This is a sit here minigame, and you can't lose. Oh no, she's a zombie! Hey, Priscilla, are you alright? I'm old. I can't walk right, but I can carry this little girl. Oh, my aching back. Sure, your back is aching after that. Okay. Well, now that we come up to the town, people aren't necessarily so mean towards us, but you can go up to Priscilla's house, which is this one, and the grandpa's out. Sorry, Cloud, Priscilla needs to rest for a while. Your CPR minigame bored the crap out of her. Yeah, bored the crap out of everybody else, too. And here's Granny. Hey, come in for a while. Sure. You don't want me to perform CPR on you, do you? I heard what happened. You've done so much for Priscilla. I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a bunch of old people here, at least as far as the sprites are concerned. There are a bunch of old people, and then there's a little girl. You all must be tired. If you want to get some rest, stay here. Okay. This is the equivalent of the inn down here, but you get this one use only, I think. Make yourselves at home. Oh, thank you. Well, we appreciate that. I'm still not performing CPR on you. Shall we rest? Yeah, let's rest, because there's really not much else that you can do here. So, let's go into the dream world of Cloud, shall we? It's not creepy, is it? That reminds me. You again. Who are you? You'll find out soon. But more importantly, 5 years ago. 5 years ago? Nibelheim? When you went to Mount Nibel then, Tifa was your guide, right? Yeah, I was surprised. But where was Tifa other than that? I don't know. It was a great chance for you two to see each other again. You're right. Why couldn't you see each other alone? I don't know. I can't remember clearly. Why don't you try asking Tifa? Yeah. Then get up. Hey, wake up. Wake up, Cloud. Tifa, when Sephiroth and I went to Nibelheim, where were you? We saw each other, right? The other time. No, it was 5 years ago. I don't remember. but something seems strange outside. Cloud, come quick. All right, and that's going to go ahead and do it for this week. So when we get back, we'll see what the ruckus is outside in Junon Harbor.